Hey guys, what is going on? NGS back again for another video. As I mentioned in the room tour video, I would be doing a complete Blu-ray collection overview video. I think that I'm probably going to do these videos annually, like around every April, May, since I recorded the room tour video last year around May. I think just for the sake of it going forward, I'll do anime, manga, Blu-ray and room tours once a year, depending on if, I collect a lot more things or if the room changes drastically, which my room sort of has. I've acquired a lot more figurines, collectibles, etc., which you've already seen by now. If you haven't, an annotation will be appearing in 3, 2, 1, go click it. Anyway, like I said, this will be a complete Blu-ray overview. I started collecting Blu-rays, I believe in 2008 is when I got my first Blu-ray, which was, coincidentally, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Really not the best movie to get on Blu-ray. Not saying that it doesn't look pretty, I'm just saying as a movie itself, you already know. And I've just really been collecting ever since, looking out for great deals on it, and I just gotta say I am pretty much a Blu-ray whore. I'm not gonna deny that one bit. All the deals, I have to grab them, seeing all the special features, and of course seeing it in 1080p is just amazing. So if something is out on Blu-ray and DVD, I will automatically switch towards the Blu-ray if it is within reasonable parameters, like if it's a great transfer, etc., etc. But to show you I'm not that much of a Blu-ray whore, I do collect things that aren't available on Blu-ray because apparently I only buy things if they're on Blu-ray. Yeah, so no more DVD collecting, apparently. If you couldn't tell, that was my awesome sarcasm. Anyway, we're about 2 minutes in. Let's begin with the first title, and that is Hancock. Hancock, I don't know what to say about this. I mean, I enjoyed the film. I thought it was very entertaining. It was tackling something that for the longest time people have wanted to do. Superheroes who have to take responsibility for their actions. They're like, honestly, if a superhero destroys like an entire building, nobody is going to say anything about it. I thought that Hancock was a great film that really demonstrated that, there are repercussions for your actions. People don't automatically love you. You are essentially a vigilante. Will Smith, Charlize Theron, great acting all around. However, halfway through the film, it started to sort of fall apart where they introduced the plot twist with her character, which I'm not going to spoil. And that's when it just started getting all over the place. I was like, what the hell's going on? Such a great start. Rocky middle, and the ending was satisfying nonetheless. So, Hancock, the unrated special edition. And of course, Will Smith. Who doesn't like a movie with Will Smith? Next on the list is Final Fantasy VII Advent Children Complete. Yeah, originally I wasn't too much of a fan of the original Advent Children. I thought it was passable, a movie. I mean, if you liked Final Fantasy, you already went out and saw the movie. But it wasn't until I got the Blu-ray version that I really did learn to appreciate it, because it introduced close to 30 minutes of deleted footage, and that deleted footage helped move the film along. It added some character development. It was just awesome. It's got a bunch of special features on here. I just generally think if you are going to watch the movie, definitely pick up the Blu-ray version, and it's just stunning on Blu-ray. This is definitely a marquee title you want to show somebody to show off the awesomeness that is Blu-ray. Stunning. The story moves a lot better with this one. It's not just so cliche. Just so much better on Blu-ray. Definitely benefited from the re-release. Next one is The Day the Earth Stood Still 3D Special Edition. Really, honestly, the only reason I ended up buying it, yeah, see how cheap this is? This is one thing I hate about the majority of American Blu-rays. They come with these cheap-ass little holders. I'm going to confess that the main reason why I bought this Blu-ray was for this bad boy right here, and this is the original 1951 release of The Day the Earth Stood Still. This is the remake starring Keanu Reeves, and honestly, I loved this film so much more. Everything about it was great. It was dealing with something that at the time was pretty controversial, which is, your enemies and how much you can trust them. Somebody from a foreign land, would they have nukes, etc., etc. I think you should generally watch the film. It's a great sci-fi classic. The remake, however, they tried to do something like that, where they were discussing issues of our time, which were, I don't know, going green or something, but it just failed. Keanu Reeves, I can't stand Keanu Reeves as an actor. I really can't. Even in the Matrix films, I just don't know. So if you are going to get this movie, I would say buy it for the original. Actually, the original is available as a standalone copy, so you're better off getting that and maybe saving some dough. But I can't stand this film. I just can't stand it. The original's so much better. Hollywood has to start getting more original ideas because you're killing classics, man. You're killing classics. And then you look at the ignorant people and say, oh, wow, I shouldn't even watch the original now because if it's as crappy as this. And I'm like, no, this was crappy. Ignorant people. Sin City. Frank Miller's Sin City, to be fair. Wow, what an awesome film. What an awesome film indeed. This is an adaptation from a graphic novel. It's a collection of stories, and it's still one central story. I've only watched this film once, so I am kind of forgot what happened, but I remember I just enjoyed it so much. That's all I could say. So if you couldn't tell by now, I don't really buy too many sucky films on Blu-ray, unless they're like for dirt cheap, but great. Apparently a sequel has been greenlit and it is happening. So yeah, the film is all in black and white, and the moments that they use color are just astonishing. Like, you just see it and it's like, wow, it really pops out, stands out. Great, great, great stuff that is. Wall Street, starring Michael Douglas and Charlie Sheen. Yeah, I remember the first time that I showed that I picked this up, which is, I believe, almost 2 years ago. I said I only gotten through halfway into the film, so I couldn't talk about how I liked it. It was kind of boring at first, but after a while, it generally picked up. Very good film. I have not seen the sequel yet. I haven't heard too many good things about it, and frankly, I don't want to see the sequel, even though it is directed by the same guy and Michael Douglas is back. I can't fucking stand Shia LaBeouf. Every single film I see him, he plays the exact same person. Not every single film, but a good majority, and God, fucking Shia LaBeouf, seriously. I can't stand him. Now, onto a better film with a better actor, Liam Neeson. Oh, God, this movie is one of the most quotable out there. Definitely check it out. Liam Neeson acting like a boss. Stop shaking, camera. You see, it can't take all the awesomeness that is Liam Neeson. Great action film. A man going after his daughter, trying to find her. Spy shit all around you. Liam Neeson blowing stuff up. It's awesome. That's all I gotta say. I can't say much more on it. I think you're gonna enjoy this film. It's fucking God here, guys. Liam Neeson. Can't go wrong with that. Alright, now we got the first Saw movie. A great, great horror film. I know a lot of people don't really like the Saw series. This was actually the first time I've seen Saw. But afterwards, I don't really think the series got much better. I mean, I stopped watching after 4, because after 4 I was just like, oh no, I'm not going to continue. And from a lot of the reliable sources that I follow, this series doesn't get much better. It's just an annual franchise to make money because people are so scared about it. I'd say the newer version of Saw is probably Paranormal Activity, in the sense that it's a horror film that became so huge, everyone has to see it, and they keep doing annual releases. So if you are going to see one film, I definitely recommend checking out the first one. I probably will end up getting Saw 2 and 3 on Blu-ray at some point. Can't say much on this because to this day I have still not watched this Blu-ray, and I don't know why. I don't know. I have a feeling that I really, really won't like it. I just have a feeling, but it looks kind of cool. It definitely does. So if anyone has seen this, you want to give me some feedback on it, if it's good or not, without spoiling it, I'd appreciate that. Alright, Invictus. One of the few films I have directed by Clint Eastwood. I don't know. I should get more of his stuff. But Invictus, nonetheless, it's a great film. It's talking about I think it was the 1995 Rugby World Cup. It was something in the 90s about the Rugby World Cup and Nelson Mandela when he was released from prison. It's great, nonetheless. You got Morgan Freeman, Matt Damon. Great acting all around. However, I do think that this was sort of a missed opportunity to make a huge film on Mandela. I don't know, that's just me. It's enjoyable, but coming from Clint Eastwood, it should have been like so much bigger and epic and la la la. If you get what I'm saying. You watch Clint Eastwood films and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Speed Racer. I forced myself to get through this because of how Well, it's not a horrible movie. This is really a movie that you'd only want to watch once, or only watch, you know, if you're with younger people who don't appreciate good films. Yeah, you can see how bad this is. It's falling apart. You got the film, you got the DVD, game, Speed Racer, and digital copy. I don't know. This movie just leaves me speechless. I don't know. It's like I don't hate it, but there's just something about it that is kind of off. Maybe it's too corny, too campy. I don't know. And we're on to my first Blu-ray ever. That's Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Yeah, definitely not the best indie film of all. I'm gonna just say that. Indy has seen better outings. This is not his best. I mean, it was great to see Harrison Ford back in there, but then again, Shia LaBeouf, like we all didn't know that was his son. And then the aliens coming in there, it made no sense. I mean, if you're an Indiana Jones fan, you've probably seen this, but it's just not that great overall. I mean, I honestly think they could have done so much better. Maybe George Lucas had too much of a hand in it. I don't know. Speaking of which, when are we going to get the other films on Blu-ray? I've heard rumors that they are releasing on Blu-ray. Yeah, I think they are. I think they are, definitely. I want to see the good Indiana Jones films. God forbid they do a reboot. Alright, Napoleon Dynamite. This movie is a really love-hate one. You either like it or you don't. I personally loved the film. I thought it was funny all the way in and out. I remember watching this with my cousins, and we were just laughing at him. He's like, oh, I'll get my haircut at the Cutting Corral, and all this BS. It's a very slow movie. It's a very quiet movie. It's nothing loud, explosive, comedy all around. It's just so, you have to be in the right mood to watch this, because if you don't, you're automatically going to hate it. Like, I know a lot of people hate this film, but I just love it of how funny it is. I don't know. Like I said, it's very polarizing. And we got The Human Centipede, one of the most controversial horror films as of late. Yeah, another film where you either like it or you don't. Oh, someone's messaging me on Steam. You either like it or you don't. I personally enjoyed the film. I was kind of annoyed at certain aspects of it, like, wow, they did not just do that. That's complete bullshit. But yeah, it's something. I know a lot of people might hate it just based on the fact that, oh, it's so gross, disgusting, or the acting, or whatever. I think they came out with a sequel that apparently is supposed to make this film look like My Little Pony. I don't know, I'll probably wait to check it out. Alright, Night at the Museum, and while we have the sequel out, Night at the Museum Battle of the Smithsonian. I bought these because they were really cheap, and yeah, there's not much that I could say. I mean, they're good family films. The first one, though, so much better than the sequel. The sequel, generally, I think they shouldn't have done it. It just felt, I don't know, it just felt out of place. The writing, the acting, the humor, it generally wasn't that good. But seeing Amy Adams in fucking Lycra, holy fuck, man, I kind of lost myself a few times. Yeah. Alright, let's see if we can get these back in here. Okay. Now we got WALL-E. That was my failed impression of WALL-E. Oh man, one of my favorite Pixar films of all time. WALL-E is just beastly. Such a beast. The movie starts out very, it's very minimalistic at first. You know, there's not much talking or action going down. But, guys, this is Pixar. They have never let us down before, except in the case of Cars, which was okay. And not to say it was good, but it was okay. But WALL-E delivers. It definitely delivers. So, WALL-E. Okay, put that right there, if I can get it in there. Failure. Alright, now we're moving on to the slipcases of this row. Star Trek. J.J. Abrams' Star Trek. Oh man, this movie really made me go back and want to watch the original 1960s series, you know, with Shatner, Nimoy, all those guys. I personally loved the film. I loved every single thing about it. However, I can understand where the classic Trek fans are coming from on the aspect that there are some plot holes and it doesn't make sense. Like, why the hell would they send an ambassador to fix a problem like a black hole? That honestly made no sense whatsoever. But I was definitely glad that they actually did do this film. I thought that the characters that they used to portray the older characters the actors who they used to portray the older characters as young were great. They all fit their part perfectly, especially Carl Urban as Bones and Zachary Quinto as Spock. I just think those were the shining aspects of the film. And Chris Pine did a pretty decent job as Kirk, too. I'm glad to see that they are doing a sequel on this, because I do want to see new Trek stories, because really, I mean, I have seen the original series and I've seen the movies, but honestly, I wouldn't want them to do a remake, so I'm glad that they kind of switched up the timeline, and, you know, so they can do different things, so they can tell new stories. And if the writing is good, if it's solid, and we get a great story out of it, then hey, why not, you know? So that's my stance on the Star Trek film. Okay, now we got District 9, which came with the God of War PS3 demo, ha 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 ha, which I think a lot of people I know bought it. Personally, myself, I did buy it for the game, but I also got a great movie out of it as well. Very, very great film. It's not really that original, because we've seen this sort of thing done a few times before, not too many, but Peter Jackson delivers nonetheless. It was great. It really showed people how, like, this is literally supposed to be a portrayal of how we were, you know, when we had somebody who was different than us, how we treated them, prejudice, being racist, etc., just because you come from a different place or you look different. It's great. It starts out as a mockumentary, and then it goes, like, full-on adventure action. Cool. And really, the special effects for this were stunning for the budget. Really goes to show you how a lot of these films have a fucking $200 million budget and the effects are crap. I don't know how that works out. Oh my fucking god, Fight Club. Oh my fucking god, Fight Club. I talked about it. Shut up. Honestly, guys, Edward Norton. I'm an Edward Norton fanboy. I'm gonna just say that right now. He's one of my favorite actors of all time. His range, so diverse. Brad Pitt, he's a beast as well. But yeah, definitely check this out. It's directed by none other than David Fincher. David motherfucking Fincher! Yeah, you can't go wrong with that trio right there. 10th anniversary Blu-ray. Fight Club is a really, really good film. I am tempted to go back and read the novel of it. When you open this up, well, it's not when you open this up. All you get is the film and special features. But when you open up the slipcase, you get Brad Pitt right there, and you get Helena Bonham Carter. Yay, she did a great job as well. Like, seriously, guys, if you're only going to look at one movie in this collection, definitely check out Fight Club. Alright, put that right here. And it's getting pretty ridiculous. How the hell? There we go. Okay. Next on the agenda is Kick-Ass with a really awesome slipcase. It feels great, looks awesome, dynamic as all hell. Great, great film. I love Kick-Ass. I have the comic, the movie. I don't want to play the game, though, because I have a feeling I'm going to get herpes. But, guys, generally check this out. It's sort of in the vein of Hancock, where superheroes, vigilantes, repercussions, etc., etc. And this is one of the few films as of late where Nicolas Cage does a fucking A job, you know. I've really gotten to hate this guy because, honestly, he's in everything. He does a crappy job in almost everything nowadays. But he did pretty good as Big Daddy. I liked him in the role. You had Chloe. You had the guy from Superbad. What the hell's name was it? It was Chris Mintz-Plasse and Aaron Johnson. Kick-Ass 2, the comic, is already out, and supposedly they're working on a sequel for this, which is great because I liked how this was in development when the comic was still in writing, so they both divulged, they had their own separate things, so you can't really say this deviated from the source entirely because it had its own original thing going on. They made sure that it can exist, so I can like this as well as liking the comic. The violence is toned down, obviously, because, you know, if they were to put that level of violence, they're looking at an NC-17 rating. Definitely NC-17. And already on its own, this film is still pretty brutal. She curses up a storm, Chloe. But yeah, Kick-Ass nonetheless. Go check it out on Netflix. Alright. All my friends out there be talking about Coraline. She's a peach, she's a ranch, she's a pal of mine. Yeah, Coraline. If you have a fascination with stop motion stuff, anything about stop motion, then you owe it to yourself to check out Coraline. It's just that good. It's just that good. Very creepy, very Tim Burton, and I forgot the director of this. I believe it was Peter Selleck, Henry Selleck, I think so. I'm not sure. It escapes my mind. Something. Yeah, I think it was Henry Selick. Yeah, there we go. Just looked at the back of it. I'm so cool, right? All right, now to get these two out of the way right now, we've got Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. Well, let's start with Half-Blood Prince. As you guys already know, oh, nice slipcover. Half-Blood Prince is my least favorite film in the entire Harry Potter film franchise. I was just so disappointed on how they cut out certain scenes that were very integral and crucial to the motherfucking story for other scenes. I just felt so ripped off. But, I mean, you're going to watch it because you're a Harry Potter fan, whatever. And, of course, the death of Dumbledore. Oh, spoiler, you guys didn't know that Dumbledore does die. But I have to say that the character development of Malfoy, fucking amazing. Great job, Malfoy. Great job. Well, not Malfoy. Fucking, what the hell? Tom Felton. There we go. Malfoy, great job on acting. As well as, you know, several other characters such as, what the hell's his name? I like Professor Slughorn. Now moving on to Deathly Hallows. They definitely got their act together on this one. They definitely did. It wasn't as bad as the other one, but it still felt kind of wonky. And it wasn't until the sequel came out that they really did ram it on home. I have to still get Part 2 on Blu-ray, but I'm kind of at a crossroads point. I've wanted to collect the Ultimate Editions, but Warner Brothers is re-releasing the entire series over and over again because they want to keep Harry Potter relevant for life. So I don't know if they're going to come out with new special editions that have even more features, and I'm going to be like, what the hell, I want those features, but I just bought the Ultimate Editions. I don't even know what they're going to do with it, so I'm seriously pissed off. God, Warner Brothers, what the hell? Please, just stick with one ultimate release, for Christ's sake. How the hell do these things even go? I don't give a fuck. Alright, put these right here. And I believe for now, we're going to end it off with Part 1 of the Blu-ray collection overview, guys. We're at 22 minutes exactly. So, join me again on Part 2, where we discuss the rest, and the rest. Damn, I got a lot of Blu-rays now that I think about it. So, I will see you guys there.